Welcome to this video on factoring with the diamond method part 5. Let's take a look at our first example. Factor the expression x squared plus 7x completely. Now notice that every single time we use the diamond method, we had an expression in the form ax squared plus bx plus c because we needed to figure out the product a times c and then b. In this case, we're only provided with two terms instead of three terms, so we have a binomial instead of a trinomial. Therefore, what we need to do is to rewrite this binomial as a trinomial as follows. X squared plus 7x is equal to x squared plus 7x plus 0. And now we can start to do the matching here. So we can determine the value for a, b, and c. And in this case, the coefficient of the quadratic term is an implicit 1, so we can say that a is equal to 1. The coefficient of your linear term is a positive 7, so we can say that b is equal to 7. And your constant term is a 0, so we can say that z is equal to 0. So when you multiply a times c, you get 1 times 0, which is 0. And your b is a positive 7. So you're looking for factors of 0 that add up to 7. So what are two numbers that when you multiply will give you 0, and when you add them will give you 7? And yes, you're absolutely right. Those numbers are 0 and 7. So we can say the following. Therefore, x squared plus 7x is equal to x plus 0 times x plus 7. But x plus 0 is the same as x, so this is just x times x plus 7. And we can conclude that x squared plus 7x is equal to x times x plus 7. Just as you were to conclude if you would use the GCF method. So let's see another example. Factor the expression x squared minus 8x completely. Once again, we can rewrite x squared minus 8x as x squared minus 8x plus 0. And this will enable us to figure out the values for a, b, and c, where a is the coefficient of your quadratic term, b is the coefficient of your linear term, and c is your constant term. So let's go ahead and figure out the values for a, for b, and for c. And in this case, a, it's 1 because there's an implicit 1 here. Your b happens to be negative 8 because that's the coefficient of your quadratic term. And your c is equal to 0. So using the diamond method, we multiply a times c, and we get the b here. And a times c here is 1 times 0, which is 0, and your b is equal to negative 8. So we're looking for two numbers that when you multiply will give you 0, and when you add them will give you negative 8. In other words, we're looking for two factors of 0 that add up to negative 8. So what are those numbers? And yes, you're absolutely right. Those numbers happen to be negative 8 and 0. So we can say the following. Therefore, x squared minus 8x is equal to x minus 8 times x plus 0. Or this is equal to x minus 8 times x plus 0, which is x. And it's a tradition to bring the x to the front, so you can say that this is equal to x times x minus 8. So in general, by using the transitive property, we can deduce that x squared minus 8x is equal to x times x minus 8, just as you were to obtain if you were to use the GCF method for factoring. So ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this video on factoring by using the diamond method part 5. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day.